Before we talk about Tank Davis and Lamont Roach rematch August 16th, let's talk about Josh Taylor a little bit. And before we get into Josh Taylor, I want to play a clip of a video I did a year ago about Teofimo talking about Terrence Crawford fighting injured and broken fighters. I don't own the rights to this content. It's for educational purposes only. Let's go back and listen to what Teofimo had to say.
When I beat Lomachenko, Crawford didn't have no problem saying that he'll come down and fight me. You know what I'm saying? The fighters that Crawford fought were handicapped. You know what I'm saying? Look, Errol Spence just announced about his cardiac, his eye and stuff. Jose Benavidez, when he fought him, he had a shot leg. When he and then who's the other fighter that he faced that they try to make it a big thing and he was injured too? Kell Brook with his eye. So every fighter that Crawford has faced throughout the 147 division, whether it looks good on paper, they've been injured.
We can use the same logic on Teofimo Lopez. You know, Josh Taylor just lost another fight against Esselman Saturday, right? Josh Taylor hasn't looked good since 2021 when he unified and became undisputed at 140 when he beat Jose Ramirez. At that point, Josh Taylor should have moved up to 147 and fought Terrence Crawford. I think Terrence Crawford was one of his opponents he could have fought if he moved up to 147. But Josh and his team decided to stay at 140, division I think Josh Taylor grew out of. And before he lost to Teofimo, a lot of people, including me, I thought he lost to Jack Catterall. So to me, if we're using Teofimo's logic that Terrence Crawford fights a lot of broken and injured fighters, he did the same thing with Lomachenko and Josh Taylor. My point is this. Also, if we're going by Teofimo's logic, he did not fight the elite, undisputed Josh Taylor. He was drained at the weight. I think Josh Taylor stayed at 140 too long, and he might be a washed fighter at this point. And maybe this is a lesson for Boots Ennis, right? This is a lesson for Boots Ennis. If you're having problems at 147, you're not being as efficient at 147 as you could be, maybe it's time for you to move up to 154. Do not take a Teofimo fight if you're not at your best. Now, Tank Davis and Lamont Roach are scheduled to do battle again August 16th. And once again, I am pulling for Lamont Roach. But the thing is, I think Lamont Roach, the only way he can win this fight is by knockout. And I don't know if Lamont Roach has the knockout power to take out Tank. You know, he could go in this fight right now and dominate 8 out of 12 rounds, and I think they'll still find a way to give it to Tank Davis. I mean, Tank Davis is the cash cow of the PBC. I mean, the PBC made Rolly Romero a champion after he was clearly getting his butt kicked by Barroso. What are they going to do for Tank Davis? And plus, they're talking about this Jake Paul fight. You know, Tank is out for the money. He's not to prove anything else. He's trying to get that Jake Paul money. So I will be pulling for Lamont Roach. But also another factor in this fight, I think Tank Davis is going to be more focused. He's going to be more sharp. So I will be going with Tank Davis to win this fight, but I will be pulling for Lamont Roach to win this fight. It'd be a good thing for boxing to see Tank Davis stretched out on the canvas. We need a WBA champion that's willing to unify and face top opponents at 135. And I think Lamont Roach would be a champion that would be up for the task. But anyway, what are your thoughts? Can Lamont Roach get a decision over Tank Davis? And what do you think about Josh Taylor? Is Josh Taylor washed as a fighter? I think Josh Taylor has seen better days. But leave your thoughts and comments below. Beezy, I'm gone.